So thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, until recently, I did not know how populated Chinchak and Kamai were until I saw that fabulous map that Bobby Fujimori had up on the wall last time. And I kept looking and watching for the 1951 10th grade class picture, but every time, I don't know if did it ever come up? Did you ever find that? 1951? No, never found it. Well, if any of you have one, let them have it so see it. Anyway, I never did see the 1951, so apparently it wasn't there. But when I think about that 10th grade class picture, I can think of only in Up Camp where I lived, there was only Clarence Rai, Ronald Okazaki, and myself in that picture. So you can see kids in that class came from somewhere else. And when I think of Down Camp, there was only Shirley Castro and Wilbert Mihara, and I think Marion Santiago. And if you lived Up Camp or Down Camp, you had to walk to and from Hakalau school in the rain and in the heat. And I know Wailea kids also walked to school, but theirs was just a short, sweet walk. Ours was a long walk. After the rain, and it rained almost every other night in Hakalau, we had to dodge the muddy puddles. And now remember, this is before the highway. So we had a lot of traffic coming from the Hamakua coast, and we had to dodge the puddles so that we wouldn't be splashed upon. But worse than that, remember, those of you who walked, there are a lot of dead toads. I don't know where they came from, but they came out in the rain, and you had to sidestep them. And it was not an easy walk. It was a long walk. Those of you who lived Up Camp and Down Camp, you remember. You had to leave your house, then you walked past the theater, then you kept walking and walking, then you walked over the bridge that went over some old railroad tracks, and then you walked some more, and then you get to a little church, and then there was the road that led to Chinchak and Kamai. Then you kept walking, and you walked and walked, and then you went past some houses, and then you walked to what was then a Rita store. Then you walked some more, past more houses, kept walking, watching out for the large trucks that carried cane to the mill, and then you finally reached the Catholic church. And you walked a little bit more, and then you got to Hakalau school. Now, the point I'm going to make is that the people from Honahina, Honamu, Chinchak, they got to ride to the bus in comfort. In rain or shine. By the time they got to school, everybody who got off the bus was fresh as a daisy. Hakalau kids, we were all tuckered out from that walk. But, you know, when I was in 10th grade, I was really very fortunate. We always had to, I don't know why, we always stayed late after school for some reason or another. And then there were two terrific girls from Chinchak. And we know all people from Chinchak are terrific, right? And they would walk home with me, so I wouldn't have to make that long walk by myself. And they would catch the late bus to Chinchak. See how fancy schmancy the Chinchak people were? They had an early bus and they had a late bus to take at their pleasure. And you know, I never did get to thank those two girls, and I get to do that tonight because they are both here. And that was Jean Fujimori Sumida and Akiko Matayoshi Sagawa. And I appreciated them accompanying me home. And thank you, Jean, thank you, Akiko, for your companionship and your friendship. Those are really happy days. Now we talk about Hakalau School as being very special because it had an old history. If you ever read the history of Hakalau School, it's really amazing. And Hakalau School is very special because it went to 10th grade. And we spent a lot of years there from 1st grade on to 10th grade. And can you believe we all went barefoot until we went to Hilo High School? I think that's why today I have a collapsed arch, all that barefoot and walking. And you know, it had a lot of traditions too. Remember the May Day programs? With, you know, there would be hula dancers, and then there would be a May Queen, and folk dances, the maypole dance. And then my favorite was the Christmas pageants. There would be a Mary and a Joseph and shepherds and 3 kings and angels. And I always wanted to be an angel, but I don't know why they never picked me to be an angel. And incidentally, we had those nativity scenes, but in those days, nobody ever protested that we sang Christmas carols.